politeness in speech. That's always possible.
Maybe just on. Or it's on. Maybe they
for the little time and opportunity that I have had in this field, I've realized that most teaching staff, perhaps it's because we have a lot on our mind, or because we want to deliver so much, we get carried away with our words when we communicate in class. There is one thing about teachers and parents that they have in common when it comes to pupils and children, child. What is that thing? Role model. First role model to a child should be parents. True or false? True. And second role model should be teachers. And as we've all known that children these days and pupils these days, most of the things you say to them, they don't really pick 100%, perhaps they will take 50%. But then, most of the things you do in their presence, they pick it all. Most of the things we say in their presence, they pick it. That is why it is important whenever we want to speak to them, we should always be as polite as possible. And that's always starting with this. So I'll be citing an example with this sentence.
It's only taking minutes. Thank you.
This is a normal question, straight question. But is this question polite enough?
No.
No. Thanks a lot. What if we have to rephrase this question? How will it be polite to its politest?
Can I have your pencil, please?
So let's slash it with. Thanks so much, ma'am. Okay. So do we all agree with that? That is the politest of that question. Yes, sir.
Can you say, please, may I have your pencil?
Good. Optional. Please. May I have your pencil? Okay. Now, out of these three, which is the politest?
This.
First, second, or third?
This, the second one. No, the third one.
Third one. Good. Why is this the politest?
Because you pleaded first before answer.
Okay. Because you pleaded before asking. Okay. We all agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now, there's two things about this question that make it politest. The first one is this, and the second is this. Those are the polite words to use in place of can. Please let's note that. And not just noting it, the most important aspect is let's not to make use of it whenever we have the chance to. If not, then why are we all gathered here this morning? So please, I know why I'm saying this. I've had a lot of seminars with staff, schools, and I realized when I go back to that school again after a week or two, I will still hear the same thing that has been corrected during the seminar. It's to repeat it. So where's the excellence? Sometimes I like to say that if you want to make use of this seminar, it's better we can just come to it. Because you have important things to do with your time, so do I. So please, I'm begging you, let's make use of it at every opportunity that we have. Sometimes it might not just be in school alone, even outside school. They said respect is reciprocal. Let's proceed. So these and these are the polite words that make this question more polite. Other polite words that could be used when asking questions, sir. Could. Optional with kindly. Now there is this response when someone is offering something or when someone is giving something. If I say, would you like to have this marker? If you would like to have it, what would you say back?
If I would like to have it.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Okay? What if you had said yes?
Yes,
And not
makes,
yes, please.
Yes makes only yes makes it's not polite enough.
Okay. But yes, please made it politest, right? Good. That's one thing because we do mix it up. I've seen some people saying yes, please. So what they ought to just say yes, thanks a lot too. What is the difference? When can we make use of yes, please? When can we make use of yes, thanks a lot? Or yes, thanks so much? This is the difference. When someone is requesting to render something to us that we didn't request it for, just personally suggesting to render help that you didn't expect. If you want to respond to such requests, either receiving it or not receiving it, that's when we use yes, please. But when you request for something and someone is rendering that to you, so it should be yes, thanks a lot, or yes, thanks so much. I hope we are noting the difference. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, let's move to another section of this seminar, which is this, one of my favorite. Okay, I wanted to say this. Igbo Queen, do you have any Igbo in the house? Hello, do you have any Igbo in the house?
No, you don't want that.
Come on, are you being ashamed of where you're from? Igbos in the house, please. Can we wait? What about the Yorubas? I love Yoruba. That's why I love where I'm from. Thanks so much for that. What about the Hausas? You have Hausas here? Nah. Okay, please. I've come across this severally whenever I walk into classes, whenever I'm opportune to listen. And what made it help me so much is the fact that pupils are also receiving it. There's one thing in English about communication. They call it RP. RP means received pronunciation. It means that what you say when I listen to you, if I love it, I will receive it. And sometimes consciously or subconsciously, because I'm listening to you too much, or because I'm always around you every time, I will still receive it. Now, when it comes to what I talked about Igbo and Yoruba and Hausa is, but the most commonly one is when I go around classes and hear teachers saying, when they want something to be done immediately, they will say, oh yeah, do this. You all know where I'm getting with that. Some will say, bring it to, because they want to pass quickly. Another one that we hear is now.
Should
Good, thanks so much. That's another one, should be. Just go. They will say good job. Please. I'll write all of those on the board there. And Shari.
Let's
Homu. Keep it up. Keep it up.
sorry sir. Nice to Sabi.
She just stepped out.
Miss Sabi. Yeah. All of us, please. Hello, madam. You remind me of you.
Lamilisa.
Mrs. Lamilisa. She's joining you in the primary. Say this time.
Welcome.
Welcome, ma'am. All right.
It's actually not cold. It's not working. It's
Should we just-
working.
You should leave
It's
it
not
there.
cold.
Don't release anything.
Right. So I'll be putting some list here of those dialects that has been added to English lately.
That's you. You okay? Yeah.
I was in the class.
Did you not come?
Okay. So please, let's note all of these down. And I tell you something, it takes personal practice. As they say that long commitments will lead to good results. So we shouldn't just wait till when we get to school, or when we're with pupils or children or students before we take this out of our English, out of our speech.
What's this?
One.
Oh yeah, golden.
Now.
Yoruba spelling.
Exactly.
No. Don't put anyone.
So please, now please, aside from the fact that we shouldn't just wait till when we are in the midst of children or pupils or students before we take this out of our English. It's a deliberate act. It's a thing you will do on your own at your leisure, not just when you're in school alone. That is how you can take things like this off. If you wait till when you get to school, even before you get to the class, it's off your mind and you just hear yourself speaking it. And after some while, when you remember, you'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm not supposed to say this. Now, this is my question. Instead of me saying, bring it now, what am I supposed to say in place of that?
Can I get it?
Bring it here.
Bring it, please.
Bring it, please. Can I get it? Bring it here. Good. How about being polite about saying that?
Please, can I have it?
Good. And sometimes when it's pupils, if they want to add please, once you use the word may I have it? That's polite enough. But when we're speaking to adults, then we can have please, may I have it? Okay, how about people want to say, how do they add people to the English? Can someone help me with that, please?
Mother.
How do they add people to English?
Bring it, Biko. Oh, Biko, bring it.
So I think people say, Biko, leave me alone.
Leave me alone, Biko.
Exactly,
Yeah,
leave me
something
alone.
like that.
Biko. Now, instead of saying, leave me alone, Biko, which other way can we rephrase that?
Please let me be.
Good. Could you let me be? Could you let me be? Thanks so much, man. Politest. Could you let me be?
That left it. Is that politeness?
Good. Can I not polite now? Can. Could. Politest. Can. Okay. Which other one? Now. Do it now. What is the correct one for that? Who can help us with that?
Can you do that now?
Good. What about being polite?
Can you do that now?
Could you?
To shake.
Could you?
Could you do that now? Okay, let's proceed. Joe.
Joyce, please.
Go, Joe. I think that's what we hear now. Leave me, Joe. Let's talk about go, Joe. We still want to use that go. Then how can we use it without adding Joe?
Just go.
Can you go? Please go.
Just go.
Please go.
Just go away.
Good. Could you please leave? Just go away. Please go. Please leave. But good. Could you please go away? Could you please go away? Okay. How do we use como? Don't you see sentence that fits into that?
Come. All you are trying to emphasize.
Come
All you are
quickly.
trying to emphasize something. That's when you use that.
That's when you use como.
Como, yes.
Good.
You really want
And
to
we also say
Come quickly.
come quickly. Come quickly. It's important for us to jot those down so we can practice them, even with our children. That's the best way to start the practice. So when I know practice with them at home, then we can bring that to the school. Okay, now let's move to the other section of this.
What about keep it?
Keep it, keep it, But it's like, wait, keep it, Okay, which other words can we use in place of that?
Could you keep it already?
Good. Could you keep it already? Could you just keep it? Please, keep it.
Now it's just an explanation. I don't think it's, among the Yorubas again. I think, even in English, the general, explanation.
Do you know the accent for it in the general English?
Is it H-U-H?
That's letter
Eight,
R.
eight.
No, that's all for the English,
For the
okay,
English.
for the Americans. Okay? And
Is that what's supposed to be for
in
this?
English?
What'd you say?
Could it be H-U-H? Like,
It has. It has.
A-R-R-R. Oh.
no, but it's
It's-
something.
It has. It has forms. You could have ha. One. This one. With just a H. But the way you said R, that is quite different. But the way we use it is totally different from those. That's why it's added to this. We use it with our own accent. And there's another thing that just pops in my mind now. When we teach, and when we teach sounds, same thing happens there too. When we sound, we know sound belongs to, we have sounds, British sounds, and then we still have Nigerian sounds, right? We have the British sound, we have the Nigerian sound. But another thing I've noticed is that we teach British sound with Nigerian accents. That is why we've seen that when I get to some classes, I do correct some teachers and pupils like that. They will tell pupils to say, instead of A. Watch it now. Yoruba will say ABD, right? English will say cats. Cats. If it is Yoruba accent, it will be cats. Are we getting this?
Okay, from her.
Good. But we have taught them with Yoruba accent English sounds. So please, we should take note of that. Ah, not ah. Are we getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just you stressing it.
Not stressing.
Ah.
It's the accent. If I stress it, it will be ah or ah. That's stress. That's stress. When you lay emphasis on the sound or words, that's stress. But what I did is accent. It's different, totally different. Yoruba accents and English accents. We can have seminars more the time on that aspect. So we won't deviate on what we're doing today. Okay, let's just take note. Okay, come on, let me pronounce words. If we have questions, we can jot it down. At the end of the next section, we will ask our questions and see if we can people answer it if we still have time. Please, may I have the dusting if you understand? Dusting. Thanks so much. Okay, let's quickly go through this. Come on, let me pronounce words. Due to the fact that we're going to have full knowledge on sounds, that's why all of these happen. 1 and 2 words that are common that we might see in class, but then we want to know the actual word to use. We'll probably just create our own vocabulary for it. The first one, is pronounced phlegm. And that is the whitish, thick mucosa that comes out of the mouth when you cough or out of the nose. The second one is pronounced rheum. That is the one that comes out of the eye after a long sleep. Sometimes during cold weather when we enjoy the sleep very well, you see something thick here, right? That is called rheum. Okay, and let's move to number 3. Who can help to pronounce, who can attempt the pronunciation of those 2 words and show the difference? Yes, mom.
Axe.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Axe.
Okay, what about this?
Axe.
All right, thanks so much, man, but you just pronounced the same thing. Another person? Another.
Ask.
Okay, this one?
Yes.
What about
Ask.
this? Again.
Ask.
Good. All right. You pronounce this with this letter taking its normal sound, which is a, and then you pronounce this like but. Now, let me just take this quickly to save our time. This one is pronounced with this taking its long sound, which is r. R. Let's try that sound. Sound r. Good. So we go ask, and this one ask. And x, axe. Good. This one is short sound, and this one is x. This one is sk, and a long sound. All right. Number 4. Who can attempt that?
Come.
Good. The first one. Or the second
First
one?
one. The second one. Come.
Good. Good. That's pretty close. Pronounce the first one again.
Come. Like come. Like past tense of come.
Good. Good. That's good. That's good. That's okay, but you're a bit too clear. That's why I should pronounce it again. If you're too clear, then you'll be sounding like you're saying C-A-L-M. But a little. It's the sound is between O and A. If you can imagine that in your mind, you can catch it right. This is the sound. It sounds up, come, come, come. When I go too much on A, I will say come. Come, come. And the other one is come. And most times we pronounce this as this. Please, let's take note of that. All right, number 5. Who can attempt that? Again.
Tall.
Good. What about this one?
Tall.
Okay. Actually, this one has two pronunciations. So the first one you pronounce of this was part of the pronunciation of this. Now the O you pronounce of this is the pronunciation of this. So this one is tall. This is either tell or tall. Tall. Let me make it clear to you, man. This one is O. This is O. O-L. So tall or tell. Please, we get to that.
Can you make the second one?
Can you transcribe? Can you transcribe
the
it?
pronunciation?
Can you transcribe
In
it?
a sentence, sorry.
Use it in a sentence, okay? Okay, transcription first, as requested. The first transcription is this. And the second transcription is this. This, you know I said it's like two sound. This and this. Okay? Now let's help ourselves with a sentence. We know the meaning of this, right?
Yeah.
But the meaning of this, do we know the meaning?
Yeah.
Good. Now who can use both in a sentence? A reasonable sentence, and then we'll read it together so we can get the clarity.
The shade is tall,
Good.
and then the car was tall.
Okay.
The car was tall.
Okay. Let's use it like this. How about this? Good. Now let's pay attention to what I want to read now. I will use this first, and then I will use this second. I'll read this sentence twice. The tall boy told the car. Did we get that? Should I take it again? The tall boy told the car. Second now, I'll use this pronunciation. The tall boy told the car. Like past tense of tell. The tall boy told the car. Did we get that? We get it. Right, let's proceed. Okay.
I didn't get that.
Okay, which one? Which one, please? I like that.
The tall boy till the car. I didn't get it to.
Okay,
Oh,
It's a little bit complex.
exactly. Those sounds are close.
Yes.
They're close. The one is short and one is long. And one is a if and. This one is with lips folded forward. Forward.
So.
Lips folded forward. Forward. Just good like that. Tall. That's it. That's it. Tall. Tall. Good. Now this one is lips open to oval shape. Tall. 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 First one, O. Second one, O.
It's just
Ma'am, are you getting it? O. O.
Efforts to pronounce A-L-L.
A-L-L. Good. A-L-L is also a word on O. All. Bring all of it. Bring all of it. We are all in an whole. Is it clear?
yeah.
Right, let's proceed. Now these we use this oftenly whenever we're teaching and want to give examples. That's why it's there. Watch this stress. Wait, let's have someone to pronounce this first. Who will attempt that pronunciation of this one? To show you, man, you got it perfectly. That's the pronunciation. The stress secondary and primary. E-G. Not E-G. I often hear E-G. Please, let's attempt that. E-G.
sometimes because of the spelling, children they are learning as they like. For example, they want to write, and when you want to pronounce, if you don't emphasize it, they will give you a wrong spelling. So, and that's where all this thing comes in. So you have to emphasize on your pronunciation for them to understand the particular word you're pronouncing.
That's right. That's why if I'm in a class, if you're passing by, you will hear my voice. If I'm teaching, you will definitely hear, because you need to be obvious for them to hear clearly.
That's what I'm saying. For example, this told now, for example, teaching and then you're saying told. By the time they want to write, they will write T-O-L-L for you. Because you say told, they use their sound. So, but meanwhile, you're pronouncing told, T-A-L-L. You understand what I'm trying to say?
That's what you
Yeah. That's why we need to work on the sound.
And that's why they have us. So please. So while we're speaking to them, if we will need to go around and observe, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm actually with her.
Okay, everyone. Right, can we proceed now? Now, if you want to use it in sentence, O, R, O, R. We have the stress on za. For example, this will equals to this. For example. Okay?
Not for example.
Exactly.
For example.
Like
Not for
exam.
example.
Exam.
Yeah, that is part of what we do.
Example is example on its own. I thought it was not example.
Okay, good. Okay, let me just put a little light on that. Example alone, that one you have the E sounding I, the sound of letter I. Ig. example. But when you use it in this format, the A on example will become R. Now, one thing about some of us, either we were brought up from our states or like that, it affects our pronunciations. So we have some people with lisp. Lisp means using one sound to sound another. We have some people like that, but nothing is impossible. I've helped someone change from that too. So you can also become the appropriate one. You can take that for yourself. So we have some people like that, and we have some people that just naturally they can pronounce all sounds with their tools. Okay. Now, she said something when she said for example, when she pronounced that, this I didn't hear the sound. So there's some people like that. But when you read this, be careful. So you sound everything that's sounding. Whatever you see in slashes means it's sounding. If it's not in slashes, that means it's silence. If it's in parentheses, to shame man. If it's in parentheses, then it's optional. I hope you get it.
What about exam? Can you please?
Good. Examination. Examination. But we will say examination.
Yeah.
We'll say E instead of E. Alright, let's proceed. So, let's take this one more time. For example. Okay, thanks so much. From what I just listened to now, I realized I find it hard to sound R after the S. So that's another thing we need to practice on our own when we get home. So you take it slowly for you to get that. For example. To share, that's it. So you see, and when you took your time to take gradually, it goes.
You have to keep opening your mouth.
Good. And there are some sounds that you want to open your mouth to sound. When you have schwa, your lips will just be a little open like this. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move to this. This has two pronunciation, either with or with. So with we'll say etc. Etc. Now with we'll say etc. Etc. Let's listen to those stress. Secondary primary, etc. So when we go inappropriately with the stress, we'll say etc. Etc. We'll give it a distress instead of giving it a secondary stress. Etc. Secondary stress is the mid tone. Primary stress is the high tone. Distress is the falling bass tone. As distress. Primary stress. Secondary stress. Etc. Are you seeing that? Right. Now let's move to number 8. Who will attempt to that? Of course, English and music seems a bit similar. That's why I do instruct music too appropriately. Yes, ma'am. They're similar because they both have rhythm. Okay, who wants to attempt that? Number 8. Okay, the first one. The second one. Good. We all got the second one appropriately, but the first one is the sound of U, the normal sound of U. Jog. 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 He's jogging with a jog. Okay? It's a bit like like a bit like but not clear with Almost the same sound we heard somewhere around where's the hair. But I said in the middle of and jog, jog. Why are you jogging with a jog? Why are you jogging with a jog? You see the difference? Okay, let's move to number 9. Be quick. Who wants to attempt that? Okay? Cup. And now we're getting it. Good. Shame. Alright, number 10. Hot and hot. Good. Hot and hot. Good. Alright, number 11. Mr. Matthew, could you please start with number 11?
Cut.
And
Cut.
good. Cut and cut. Cut. Good. To cut something.
Like you have in black.
Good. Good. Like also in black. That's simple. That's right now. And here, cut. Okay. Let me just speed up until we're out of time. Okay. Some vocabulary that I have here. I will just touch the most important one that will come across often, like examination. We talked about that. Like punctuation. Punctuation instead of punctuation, we call it what punctuation. It's punctuation. Good. Now,
Okay, what about, exclamation?
Exclamation.
Expression.
Expression.
Yes.
That's good. Now, this one, P-E-R-I-O-D. Again? Let me write it so you can see very well. P-E. I hope we know that this letter is pronounced R. R and not R. Not R. It's R. Now, this word, who can attempt the pronunciation?
Period.
Again?
Period.
Good. We all say P, P. This will have a different sound. Pear. Pear. Now, this will take its normal A, and this will become short, weak, because it's in distress syllable. So when we pronounce this, we also say period. Period.
What are you pronouncing?
Period.
Jeremy will say, no, that's here. They will just make fun of it.
Good. Yeah. Period. I'm done talking. Period.
It even sounds funny.
Pretty funny. That's how it is. Of course.
You are actually trying
Okay, and also we have the same
period.
What is the next period? I think the next period is now. The next period is now. Period. Alright, here we have this number. We call it O. What do we call this one? O or Z. We say Z. That same here we have a head. Zero. That's the same thing.
Please.
Okay, and what will happen next one? This word has 3 pronunciations. I hope you know when you're telling someone someone to tell you something. What is that thing called?
What's that?
This is it.
Explain.
Let me write this in word. I don't want to pronounce it out because sometimes I find it hard pronouncing it wrong.
Question.
Let's take one after the other, please. Let's begin from you.
Question.
Good.
Question.
Good.
Question.
Please say it. Again. Okay, good. Now, from hers, her pronunciation would have been right, but she ended with on instead of n. Shorter than n. Please pronounce yours again.
Question.
You've changed it. You're ending with chen before. Say it again, please.
Question.
Good. You both pronounced the same thing. This is it. What they pronounce is also appropriate. That word has 3 pronunciations. The first pronunciation is this. First pronunciation is question. 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 We can repeat that. Question. Good. Second pronunciation is question. Good. Question. Good. Third pronunciation is question. 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 Are we know to the difference? First one is what? No, we missed. First, the last schwa was omitted to all. First. Well, you got yours appropriately, but that's what pronunciation you used of this word.
What I'm saying is, it seems generally the word is not really wrongly pronounced, even when you listen to other people. Since we have 3 pronunciations for it, I mean, generally, it's like
Generally, it's let's say it's halfly pronounced appropriately. Because even the question, some would say question. Question instead of question. Is that right? Now, same thing with it's either I'm a Muslim or I'm a Christian. Wait, it's either I'm a Muslim or I'm a good Christian. One.
Christian.
You should also say Christian. Christian. Okay, that's the general pronunciation. Most people go with that. That word has 3 pronunciations too. Christian, Christian, Christian. That's the second one. The third one, Christian, Christian. And somehow I will say Christian. But I notice everybody will say the first one, Christian. So the 3 pronunciations are appropriate.
Let's just say Nigerian use the first one.
Exactly. So please, let's just take note of that. Now, when you ask a question, you will get an answer. You will get an answer. From that one, we have answer. You will get an answer. Good. Okay. When you want to go to the washroom, you need to request for the disposable napkin, which is often called
Towel.
which is formally called
Napkin.
Napkin or when you want to go to the washroom. Again?
Tissue.
Good. It's formally called tissue, right? But let's put it at mind that word could also be called tissue. Tissue.
Like issue.
Like issue also. Issue could also be called issue. Thanks so much, General. We have a lot to say.
You can say issue. You can say tissue. Tissue. Or issue.
I used to issue. So it's also correct, right?
I want to ask a question. I read some people say you don't say I'm going to the restroom, you say I'm going to the toilet. The restroom is not correct. I want to confirm that.
Good, thanks so much, man. Now, that depends with when, if you're in a school setting, say, may I go use the washroom or lavatory? Or I give out washroom because that was easier to pronounce.
Within the school, what about the loo?
The loo also within the school premises. The loo also for school premises. When you're at home, you call it toilet. You can call it toilet, you can call it bathroom. At home. Then when we're out in an event, we can go use either the ladies or the gents.
So in school,
In school,
Washroom.
washroom.
Or the loo.
Good. At home, toilet or bathroom. Good. In an occasion outside, ladies or gents.
What about
Morning,
restroom?
sir.
Restroom also for occasions outside.
what about in school?
In school, washroom.
Washroom.
It's better to use washroom. for that.
People use convenience.
Convenience also, that's another way of saying it. But it's better to use washroom.
Where could that be used? So you can't use restroom in school?
No, you can use restroom in school. Restroom should be at home.
At home.
Restroom at home.
Restroom is your belly.
Exactly. That is why it's not appropriate in
The
school.
one in your bedroom.
That's it. That's why it's not appropriate in school. Okay, thanks a lot. So please don't forget, tissue, the appropriate one is disposable napkin when you dish it out to your pupils. The second one, when they exude gas out of the anus, not farts.
Is what?
The unspeakable. The unspeakable. The unspeakable. The unspeakable.
Do you mean the word is
I'm saying the appropriate one to use in a public place.
Yeah.
You don't use that word fart.
Okay.
Like in a classroom. What do we-
Exactly. You use the unspeakable.
Unspeakable.
Please, which other one can we use, please? Please, there's another one. Because these people, they will. Unspeakable.
I don't see them.
Who did the unspeakable?
Please, if you want to do the unspeakable, go to the washroom.
Oh my God.
And they will laugh.
I'm introducing some of them. But the more we use that, the more people will pick it up.
Okay, so what about if? Oh, sorry, I got that.
Okay, thanks so much, everyone. All the time.